In the next segment of this tutorial, we'll be creating a sketch tool. Now, a sketch tool is very close to a Revolve tool, and you'll see what I mean as we go on. So click on the whole command. As it opens, select the placement, and the placement is on this surface. Now change the type to diameter, and for the diameter you need to select an axis, and which is the axis of revolution that lies right here. So go to the offset reference collector, click in there, change your filter to axis, and select this axis. While this is selected, you need to select the datum plane to offset it, which will generate that angle or dimension that you're looking for. Now change your filter to datum plane, hold down the control key, and select the front datum plane. And this would generate this angle here. You can see angle 28.35, which happens to be 60 degrees is what we need. So modify it 60 degrees and change the diameter to 6 units, 6.00. To define the profile of the hole, click on the sketch here. This makes the type of the hole a sketch tool. Now to open the sketcher environment, click on sketch, and this will open this window, which is a sketcher environment. You will not be needing to define the sketching plane because it was already defined as we placed the hole. So also for a sketcher tool, start with a center line, a vertical center. Now same with any sketch. We will draw the profile of the part and then go back and modify the dimension. Just notice that this hole lies directly on the center line. Notice it's very important that you close this side here. It might not be very clear in print, but you do close this section. Otherwise, it will revolve as a surface, not as a solid. So we'll go back and modify the dimensions here. Accept and build. Now we need to create a pattern, which happens to be a radial pattern. Now the difference between radial anything and diameter anything is the translation of the dimension. So that if you reference in an axis, if it's radial, it's going to reference the distance between that object on the axis, which is the radius. And if it's diameter, then it's going to multiply that by 2. So while the whole feature is selected, click on pattern. Now keep it at dimension. For the placement, the dimension you want to pick here is that angle that was created earlier in the tutorial, which is the 60 degrees. And as it's picked, we need it to be modified to 90 degrees, and we need to change the number of instances to 4. This is 1 instant, 2, 3, and 4, and they're 90 degrees apart. Accept. The next part of this tutorial will be creating a revolved cut. We'll click on the Revolve tool, placement, and we're going to define the cut. Now as the sketcher opens, the sketching plane is going to be front, the reference is going to be the right datum plane, and the orientation is going to be right. So I'm going to click on front, reference is right datum plane, and orientation is right. So click on sketch. Now the cut is going to be a rectangular shape right here, and it's going to be revolved 360 degrees around the part. We need to reference these lines here. We need to reference the center line. We need to reference the top surface and the side surface. So click on Sketch, References, and as the reference dialog box opens, select the axis here, and you can see an axis up here, top surface and the side surface. And click Close. Next, now remember this is going to be a revolved feature as well, so we always start with a center line, and the center line is going to be placed right here, and since we reference the other axis of revolution, it's going to pick it up. And next we will define the cross section of the cut. Now we go back and modify the dimensions. And accept. Where the cut is, let me change the display so it's more obvious. See, as you look close to it, there's the cut. And this should conclude your tutorial pretty much. Now all you need to do is save the part, so click on Save and click OK. Now this is also a good time to change the name of the part to the name that's required by the tutorial. So if you haven't named it T10 underscore your last name, this would be a good time to click on Rename, and when it opens you write the new name here and change it on disk and in session and click OK. I hope this was helpful to you.